Hi, I'm Captain Andrea.
And I'm Commander Matthew.
And this is Trek Back Tuesday.
And this time around, we're continuing to build our Enterprise D, which we're doing. It's coming to us from Hero Collector. They're doing this really great subscription thing. And yeah, we are now in video 4, part 4 of our Build the Enterprise series.
Yes, today we'll be looking at parts 11, 12, 13, and 14.
So previously, we have part of what we worked on. We have been working on the saucer section. This is some of the skeletal structure for the saucer section. We also worked on the outer part of it as well. We did a little bit of the neck. And it looks like today we're going to be continuing a little bit of that trend, working in that same region.
As you can see, we also have some electronics to work with, which are always fun.
Yeah, I've got also some more pieces of the skeleton. So we're really continuing to build out that saucer section, and it's going to be huge. I mean, really, look at the size of this thing right now. This is just a piece of the saucer, and we're about to add some more. So by the time this thing gets finished, I mean,
it's enormous.
Yeah, we're really starting to get an idea of how big this thing's actually going to be, and it's a little scary thinking about how huge this thing actually is.
Basically, we're saying make sure you have space for it.
Space, the final frontier, and very costly if you don't have any, because you got to rent it from a storage unit if you don't.
Yeah. All right, so we're going to switch to the overhead camera and get ready to build. And we're back. Let's take a look at the magazine first.
Yeah, so let's move these things out of the way real quick and get a closer look. So, as always, here's the different elements you're going to do for the construction of it. This is the part listing, which we'll take a look at, of course, as we're going along. The assembly is in the front as well. This looks like it's actually not too terrible, this issue. Like, you know, part 3 was also pretty simple because, again, it was just so much of the saucer section.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of these tend to be a lot of screwing.
That's what she said.
Yep, that is absolutely what she said.
But yeah, other than the neck, which is going to have some electronics, which we actually might not do the battery part, we'll see. But yeah, it's more of working on the neck, which isn't too difficult, and more of the saucer section, which is also not too difficult. So this should hopefully be rather painless.
And then we get to some really great articles.
Yeah, so obviously if you want to read these in detail, you should get the subscription for yourself. But this issue, we're continuing to take a look at a few other episodes of Star Trek. So this one now we're going to where no one has gone before. It's a good one.
We first meet the Traveler.
And there's Stanley Camel. He was on a lot of TV shows, including Murder, She Wrote. And hopefully one day we'll be a guest on Trek Untold if I can track him down.
Hey, if anyone knows, please leave information in the comments.
Check it out. This is what a Targ might have looked like.
Oh, no, I want something funkier. That just looks like a lizard in a suit.
Well, it ended up just being a pig in a suit, so yeah.
Yeah, true, but you know. And then there's bad-looking Worf.
Yes.
God, I'm sorry, DS9 Worf looks so much better than TNG Worf.
And here's the Seelie and the Antikins. Wow. So you might not know this, but one of the first people to play Antikins was actually Mark Alamo.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, that was actually, I think, his first role was as one of those weird wolf alien things.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Well, they clearly liked him enough to bring him back, and he got to be Dukat.
He sure did. Justice.
Let's run around in weird, naked, cut off. What were those clothes?
Terrible. That's what they were. They were terrible.
I mean, I understand trying to get creative, but seriously. Oof.
Oh, the battle. There's a interesting one.
Ferengi.
Do you remember this one? So basically this one's about they're traveling in space, as they're apt to do on the Enterprise. And they run into
wait, no, the Thought Maker. Is that it? The one where he was like manipulating?
Yeah, because Diamond Bach over here, he's all like, oh, I've got your old ship, the Stargazer, back.
Yes, that was actually a pretty... you know what? I liked that episode.
Yeah, I like it. It was also really cheesy. Like, it really felt like a Roddenberry-style episode, but with a little bit of some modernism in there. But overall, I mean, it's still very much, you know, melodramatic.
Well, yeah, but I just liked the concept of it. I liked the idea that they were using, you know, that brain-controlled... the Thought Maker.
Yeah.
I liked it, though. It was different.
It's just that Diamond Bach was so over the top.
Bach. He's not a diamond.
Bach over here was so overdramatic. It's like, good, Picard, as he trolled his mustache.
Well, they didn't know what the Ferengis were, and let's be honest, the Ferengis are pretty over the top.
Yeah, this was, I think, probably their second appearance, I guess? Yeah, so, yeah, they were still trying to figure themselves out, and they were rough in those early days.
Yeah, but Damon Bach he was a worthy foe, I thought, for what he was.
This is some of the this is the Stargazer from underneath, it looks like, yeah, which is cool. I think it's a Constellation class is what that ship is. Yeah. Or a Constitution class, I mean, yeah.
It looks so good.
And they have field note 4 warp nacelles on them, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, and just something that we didn't mention, there's also a nice thing about casting Data, casting Riker. I always love knowing the casting process. Like, why did they choose these people?
Yeah, and this one tells us here some of the actors who are also up for the role.
Oh my god, Robert Englund? I'm sorry, Robert Englund would have been such a terrible choice for a Data.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. No, there's no way I could ever see Freddy Krueger as Data.
Yeah, what a different show that would be.
But I am now a little sad that they never found a way to tie that into any of the Nightmare on Elm Street movies.
I don't think Robert ever did any episodes of Star Trek, did he?
I honestly don't believe he did, but I don't know off the top of my head. I'm just saying, how hilarious would it be if they had him do a really cheesy, like, James Kirk kind of space show?
Surprised they didn't. Although,
Yeah.
fun fact for you. So yeah, while Robert Englund never appeared, Wes Craven has a connection to Star Trek because his daughter Mimi was actually in a few episodes, I believe.
Okay, that's awesome, and we need to get her on your podcast.
Yeah.
Because that's just awesome. Ooh, it's Q.
Hayden Q, a disappointing Q episode from season 1, his second appearance. It's the one where he gives Riker Q powers.
Oh, that was such a late.
Like, here's grown-up Wesley. Ugh.
Oh, that was terrible.
And the pig Civil War soldiers, whatever
Yeah.
whatever they were, the French soldiers. That was a real, like, original series style episode.
That was a bad episode. And also, again, thank you, world, for giving us one of those great Wesley memes. Poor Wesley.
Yeah. Poor adult Wesley.
Poor adult Wesley. Poor Will Wheaton. Poor everyone.
But the first Luxana tribe right here in Haven.
I love Luxana.
Yeah, Luxana is definitely a figure that's debated among a lot within the Trek community.
Yeah.
And especially because of her TNG appearances, where she was mostly just thirsty for Picard the entire time.
Which, can't blame her.
Yeah, she definitely got better when they got to DS9. That's for sure. If you don't like Troy in TNG, that makes sense. But when she got to DS9, if you still don't like her, you're not paying attention.
Yeah, she's one of those characters where, quite frankly, when you have to take in her whole arc. She's a wonderful character when you take in her whole arc. When you look at her in bits and pieces, she's frustrating beyond belief.
Yeah, so...
But she's iconic. Ooh.
And speaking of iconic, here's the first holodeck episode, Big Goodbye.
Ooh, these were good episodes.
Lawrence Thierry is no longer with us, but Harvey Jason is, and he did an episode of Trek Untold very recently. So, shameless plug for my podcast. You want to hear all about him, go check out that episode.
He was cool. I liked him.
Yeah, and his last role was actually in Jurassic Park 2, and he tells a story about that, and I'll give you guys a little quick glimpse of that. That was his final role, and he even told Steven that, because he basically at that point wanted to go work with his son to help his son's dream come true, which was to own a bookstore.
Oh my god, that's so awesome, and I'm assuming they achieved that dream.
Oh, they achieved that dream because their store is Mystery Pier Books. It is one of the leading stores. It might actually be the leading store in the U.S. for first edition books.
Oh my gosh.
So their clientele is like absurd. These are like, we're not talking like a Barnes & Noble. We're talking real high class first editions. He's got some stuff that's like, real old things. You got to see to believe. So yeah.
I'd love to check them out.
They've got an amazing inventory. So yeah, check out that episode to hear more about him and his other roles and what he remembers from doing this episode, which is a pretty fun episode.
And I'm sorry, this is just one of those gorgeous shots of Gates McFadden.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, I know they were going for the beauty stuff, but damn, she's absolutely stunning in this.
Yeah, this is a fun episode. If you haven't seen it in a while, it's worth going back to take a look at it again.
This is definitely one of the highlights of season 1.
Here's some more pictures of it too, yeah.
Damn, you know what? I really would have paid good money to see all of them do like a real Dixon Hill kind of if this had come out now, we would have had a mini-series.
Yeah.
We would have had, there would have been a web series or something, and it would have been amazing.
Great pictures, and that wraps up the issue. So, yeah, pretty good here. This is a good issue. Do you want to read more about it? Get the book for yourself.
Which means all we have left to do is some building.
So I am going to give, let's see, we're going to have to cut some of these things up. Looks like we're divide these things up, because if you get all the bags, you'll notice that they all have kind of different things mixed together, which is going to be a little difficult, because it looks like basically the top half of the bags are your sections for the neck, and everything on the bottom half is all the sections for the saucer, which I'm going to be dealing with.
Yeah, so that's fine. We'll just cut it all off and split it up.
Yeah, so let's go ahead and get to cutting and get to work.
Yay!
Cutting
my favorite
things.
part.
Yeah.
Scissors! I'm an enthusiastic captain when it comes to destruction.
All right, so my job for this one will be, it looks like, just screwing this part to this part.
Oh, thank God. Mine looks like it's just gonna be inserting. Oh, check this out.
Ooh, that's cool.
Okay, this makes life so much easier. Oh, hey, look. We now have windows.
Oh, wow, why weren't the other ones like that?
Oh my goodness. That's wonderful.
Now, as I'm doing this, I also noticed our piece is actually a little banged up, it looks like. So I'm hoping it doesn't affect things later on. We'll see. But this part right here, you'll notice has got a little chunk of metal that's been missing. It's been chucked out or something.
What happened?
See that right there?
Oh, dang. Yeah.
Yeah, it got some battle damage, and I hope it doesn't become a problem later on. I don't think it will, but you never know. Because we don't really know how this stuff connects beyond what we have today.
See, what I'm not loving about this is what they gave me were, you know, sets of stuff all connected. You know, like 2 different wires. And I'm not loving that it's hard to tell exactly what connects where because the picture isn't as clear. It just shows you, you know, which colors to deal with, but at the same time, it's not the easiest to work out.
I think continuity is one of the hard parts about doing this kind of subscription service.
Yeah.
Because, you know, for us, it's basically weeks in between. We're not getting a bunch of these and doing them all together.
Yeah.
It's like weeks in between, so it's like you kind of forget where one starts, where one ends. And there's a bunch of pieces we have from other builds from these last 3 episodes that we haven't even touched since we first got them, especially the parts in like episode 1.
Mm-hmm.
So eventually they're gonna get, you know, used again, and it's just gonna be probably a little confusing to remember what goes where. So we'll definitely have to see what happens when we get to that point.
Yeah, no, I look forward to it and everything. It's just, it's hard when you're doing the electronics and you're like, okay, I'm doing this, but what's gonna connect to what? And it's frustrating because it doesn't make sense, you know? And maybe it'll connect to a piece that I've already worked on. Maybe it'll connect to something new. Now I'm just tightening everything. There we go.
Ah, that's the snapping sound of success.
So yeah, so this is one of those pieces where you gotta push down really hard in order to make sure that it connects, this part is connecting.
You want to make sure that you're really, really firm, especially with these parts that are holding down wires, because otherwise they will fall right out.
Absolutely fall out, and it's a little frustrating. I understand that you want to push it down. I'm sure I've said this in the other videos. Yes, of course you want to make sure that it's pushed down and it's all connecting, but it's frustrating because like these screws just barely make it, like touch it if you put it in lightly. Like if you just put it in just to see how it is, you really have to like push it down in order to make sure that they connect. And that I don't know how I feel about.
Like I'm very worried long term about these pieces because I'm like, when the model's done, if our stuff is just flopping out, it's screwed. Can't get back to it.
They say that it'll be secured in the next step.
All right, well, let's move on to stage 12 because my part's also done. My part was really easy.
Yep,
yeah.
so soon. Yeah, I mean, it wasn't difficult. It was just a little tedious.
Yeah, your side, you're basically not doing the same exact thing, just on the other side.
Yeah.
Which is going to be probably a little bit more difficult because you've got the other wires to contend with now.
Which, you know what, that might actually be easier for me. Who knows? We'll find out.
And as for me, I'll be attaching more stuff to this. That's all. I'll be attaching some more things on these 2 bits.
Yep. Here's 1. See, I'm making sure to cut for you. Here's 2.
That's right. It's an Azeroth Metreon Zinthos.
Wrong franchise, dude. You know, number 1, you should know your franchises.
Well, to be fair, I mean, you know, there is a certain actress in Star Trek who got her name from a certain character from the Teen Titans. That's right. Sonequa Beast Boy Green.
I hope one day she hears this.
I'm cutting this from the video.
Yeah, so, well, Commander Matthew, is just double checking to make sure I, you know, he's just tightening the screws. Oh, yeah, there's a small break right there. As I was screwing it in, the plastic broke.
Yeah, and we've had that happen, I think, in another build also, because it's just plastic. And that's what I mean, it's like you have to get these things down really firmly. There's this, like, balancing act of really firm and then not breaking the plastic with other parts. So this time around, one thing gave way to another, so
yeah,
it's busted. It's still holding at least, but...
Yeah, and it's just, this is one of the frustrating things about the screws. You know, the different lengths, and of course you need different length screws and whatever, but it's just frustrating that, you know, you have to be so firm that you risk breaking. I don't know. But either way, this part is done. So that part's nice. So
we can turn the page.
We can turn the page.
I'm just still screwing just because these things are very precarious and there's a lot to screw.
That's what he said.
That's what I did say. Yeah, I just got to do this section now, which is
Okay.
just more of the same. So you can go ahead and start on stage 13, I guess, because I can't really...
Yeah, you can't do anything.
I'm going to still be screwing here.
Looks like I am too. Well,
That's
Yeah.
what she said. I don't know. I got more to screw. I'm going to go screw. Come watch me screw, everybody. Live on YouTube.
right now, I'm gonna be working on the main impulse engine. It's right here. So this is what it's gonna look like. And this one's pretty easy. It fits right in, and I just need 3 screws.
I'm just struggling with the screws because it's just so awkward to do this. They're just different sizes, these little things that we're attaching to the skeletons. All these little skeleton supports. There's like some that are longer than others, and it's like I have to use my hand to hold them down, and it's just very awkward. It requires some patience and some dexterity.
Both
Not a
of which
lot, just-
neither of us have.
Yeah, it's not terribly difficult. It's just a little cumbersome to hold it and screw it in.
Honestly, building the ship, this is like a nerdy dream for me, but at the same time, it's been a dream, so dealing with the reality is sometimes a little frustrating.
Yeah.
Okay, so I am done with the main impulse engine. Nice. I like it.
Very nice, very evil.
Yeah, very, very chill.
Still screwing, because these things just,
Your stamina is that good, huh?
look at my finger.
Ooh!
That's from pushing down on these little holes, because it's not really very level, this thing here. And as you can see, they're all different sizes, and the screw just fell somewhere. They're all just different sizes, so it's a little awkward, and it's very tedious. And I have still more of these to do for this build. That's all I'm doing in this build, is just doing skeletal parts. And it looks like I'm going to screw the remaining 2 skeletal things for this week's build. Oh man, it just doesn't end.
Are you sure?
Because now this piece goes here, and then you've got another one for me over there.
I'm gonna move on, and I'm gonna work on the part 14 aspect of this.
Looks like this is going to go here, so I will continue to screw.
Here, if you wanna take a look to see what you need to do.
I need to screw.
You need to screw.
I need to screw.
And just keep screwing.
That's what she said.
Well, if it helps, this part has electronics in it.
Oh, yay.
Something electronic looking.
And I think that is it. I think I've now got my section done, and look at how big this is now too. Jeez, it's enormous. So that is my contribution. What is yours? You're still working, but you're almost done also.
Yeah, I'm almost done. So I'm working on the impulse engine and getting it all lit up. There's this white piece that you got in part 13. Now for part 14, it's gonna be part 14B. It is a clear piece. So check your baggies, because I thought I was missing it at first. It was right there. It's a clear piece, so if you're not paying attention, you can easily miss it. And then you just slide it into here. You slide it into the slot that's there for on the piece for 13. Then you slide it in here, nice and easy. That part is super nice. Now the only thing I'm trying to figure out is this piece right here and how exactly it goes. So you're gonna have this piece, which is a nice little pain in the butt piece, and you're gonna want to fit it right here.
And yeah, you're gonna want to basically try it out, because there are 2 holes, so it only fits one way right, the other way it doesn't. So if it doesn't fit the first time, just keep playing with it till you get it correct.
Yeah.
Just keep playing with the holes. Model making is fun.
You just like being able to make bad innuendos. This is actually fairly easy.
I mean, it looks very complicated looking at it from above right now, just seeing how much you've done on it. Because this has been all you, by the way, So, I know you didn't really get to build models as a kid, so look at how much you've done.
Yeah, but this is like nothing.
I guess, but it is
Doesn't-
something, because, I mean...
No, I mean it's cool. It just that's what I'm gonna go with. It's still really cool. I love that we have this. We're supposed to test the lights now, but
We're not going to do that
we're not
today.
going to.
We don't have batteries, so we can't do that today. We forgot to
Yep.
bring batteries again.
And so, I mean, I'm gonna ask you to just double check and tighten.
Well, I'll
the
probably do
screws.
more of that off camera, I think, but...
Yeah, but otherwise it's done.
Yeah,
There you
that's pretty much episode 4. So there's still, I'm sure, more of this section here to work with. You can see how big it is. This is going to be connecting over here at some point.
I'm excited about this.
yeah, we've gone through a lot of BM screws, a lot of BP screws, and
A lot of DPs, CPs, all the Ps and MPs.
If you want to be really accurate, I mean, boom, it's gonna be like this eventually.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
That I'm really excited about.
So now, yeah, I mean, this is how big this is gonna be, but we haven't even really gotten to how much wider it's gonna get once we put the actual piece on top of this, which is coming soon, I think. Still a lot to do, but it's coming together, and it's looking pretty cool. So yeah, thank you guys for watching.
If you have any tips, suggestions, if you have anything you want to complain about, or you just want to commiserate, please just sound off in the comments. Let us know your thoughts on the whole thing.
If you're not building it yet, go ahead and visit Hero Collector's website, and you can learn how to subscribe to the service, because you're going to want to do it. And they've also done the Ecto 1, the DeLorean. They've done a lot of cool stuff. Aston Martin from James Bond films.
That's pretty cool.
So you can get some really nice cards if you're not into Enterprise, but I'm sure you're into the Enterprise. So yeah, this is getting pretty big. It's getting pretty exciting now. I'm very curious to see what Part 5 is going to be.
Yeah.
That's it for this episode of Trek Back Tuesday. So we'll see you guys next time with some more Build the Enterprise from Hero Collector.